Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're checking out the Darkglass Microtubes 900 amplifier and the GG410C bass cabinet. As the name suggests, the Microtubes 900 delivers a serious amount of power, 900 freaking watts, making it the most powerful amp that I've ever had in the studio. This thing is an absolute monster. The accompanying cabinet is rated for a cool 1000 watts and can definitely handle what the head delivers. In my small drum room, it's nothing short of earth-shattering. This amp had my entire studio rumbling. In terms of sheer volume, it delivers the goods. Checking out the front panel, it's divided into two sections. The right side is the clean section where you dial in your tone. It's got a 4-band EQ, and both mid-bands have a selectable frequency switch. There's a gain and master volume as well. On the left side, that's where the Microtubes section is. It looks like they've included two preamps from the B3K and vintage Microtubes pedals. This circuit is controlled by 4 knobs: drive, level, tone, and blend, plus 2 toggles, one to engage the Microtube circuit and one to switch between the 2 modes. The input also has a switch for active and passive pickups, just in case your pickups run just a little too hot. Switching over to the back panel, there's a combo speaker jack, impedance switch, power amp in and preamp out, foot switch jack, and a direct out with a really cool feature where you can engage the preamp or just pull a clean signal. This is great if you want to go straight into a mic preamp, and it lets you bypass a dedicated direct box. That is a great feature. The only other thing on the back panel is, unfortunately, a cooling fan. It's a little noisy in a studio control room, so just keep it away from anywhere you have to do critical listening. However, at practice or on a gig, it is a non-issue. And I do understand why it's there. When you're cranking out 900 watts, you're gonna generate some heat. And the fact that they kept the amp housing so small and light means that it's a design trade-off. I imagine if they went with a heatsink instead, the amp would probably be about 4 times the size. So yeah, a fan seems like a pretty good idea. Seriously, after 5 minutes in the control room, we didn't even notice it. Now, taking a look at the cab, it's got 4 10-inch custom eminent speakers, plus a horn with a level control. It is solidly constructed of Baltic birch and weighs in at 84 pounds. If you're hauling this to gigs, put it on a mechanic creeper or get some help, don't hurt your back. It's big, it's awkward, and it's totally worth the effort because it sounds great. Seriously, I had a cheap SWR cabinet that never got any use in the studio because it just didn't sound very good. It just sat there and took up space, and when it did get used, the horn just tore your ears off. Not so with the Darkglass cab. Not sure what they did with the horn, but wow, does it ever work great. So for this demo, we've mic'd it up with a Roswell Mini K47 from about a foot away, far enough back to get a good coverage of the 10-inch and get some tweeter as well. Let's check out a few solo clips. To help out, we brought in Mr. Keith Wilkinson, local bass shredder and the antithesis of rule number 2. But those clips are only part of the story. How's it sound in a mix? Let's bring in Cam Fleury on the drums and let it rip. So I did that video a few weeks back about running a bass through a tube guitar amp, and I love the results. But honestly, I don't think I'll be doing that anymore. Not with the Darkglass amp in the studio. It is completely next level. It's easy to mic up and it's easy to dial in a fantastic tone. Truthfully, that tone in the full mix has been the sort of sound I've been dreaming about for years. I am completely blown away. If you're a bass player who takes their instrument seriously, I know you guys are out there, and you want great tone for the studio or the stage, take a look at the Darkglass Microtubes amp and cab. You can bet I'll be using mine on many more recordings here on SpectreSoundStudios. And yes, I'll include it on some heavier mixes in the coming weeks, just in case you were wondering. You can get your hands on the amp at Musician's Friend in North America and Thomann in Europe. The cab also comes in a 2x10 version, and I'll have links for everything in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.